Hey YouTube, it's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for returning. You know I appreciate you. Today, I'm so excited. I got our Christmas menu all planned, and I thought I'd share it with you guys since I'm a little bit early, at least for me. And I thought maybe it would give you some ideas if you haven't figured out your menu yet. So stick around, and in a couple seconds I'll tell you what I'm going to have on my table on Christmas Day. Okay, so first things first, if you're wondering, we aren't doing anything special as far as the kitchen is concerned for Christmas Eve. We usually don't, and we usually go out for Christmas Eve, and so we're just going to do that again. Now, for Christmas Day, that morning, my mom used to make this like sausage, apple, cinnamon type of breakfast casserole thing. She used to do that years and years ago when I was in high school and college, which was who's keeping count? It was a grip ago, okay? But she doesn't remember the recipe, and I keep trying to force her to do it, and she's just not remembering it. So I ended up, what was it, like 2 years ago, I found a recipe that I liked on a website called Plain Chicken, and they do a sausage breakfast type of casserole thing that has like some hash browns, sausage, egg, you know, it's really easy. It's super tasty. It's got like garlic powder, onion powder, I want to say. It's gonna be so good. We've tried it before and it was very good. So I'm gonna get that started ahead of time the day before, and then I'll get it all put together. So in the morning on Christmas, I could just throw that in the oven and move on with the rest of my stuff. Okay, so for Christmas appetizers, there's only gonna be the two of us, definitely. It was the same thing that we did for Thanksgiving, except we were expecting one other person, so there was definitely going to be 3 of us. It ended up being 5 of us. We like to keep the door open for whoever wants to come by, friends, family, whoever. But definitely it's only going to be the 2 of us that we know of. Sure enough, other people will stop by, but I'm not planning on that. So being that it's only going to be the 2 of us, I don't need to make this big, huge menu, you know? So for my appetizers, I'm only doing 3. We're going to do a shrimp cocktail, which I do for every holiday, but this time I'm going to do one that I think is kind of fancy. I'm generally, as far as cooking goes, somebody who is not trying to spend forever in the kitchen, right? I don't want to deal with 500 different ingredients. It doesn't have to be all that. It can be if you want it to be, but me, I like to keep it simple, stupid, okay? But this is going to be about as fancy as I get as far as shrimp cocktail goes. I've already printed out all of my recipes, and I found this one. It is called Truly the Best Shrimp Cocktail Ever, Recipe Ever. And this one, you make the cocktail sauce yourself, which I've made before. It's very easy to make. The cocktail sauce calls for ketchup, lemon juice, horseradish, gin. You normally don't see gin in a cocktail sauce, at least not that I've ever made. Tabasco, celery salt, fine sea salt, and parsley. Then for the shrimp, now this is really gets different because I've never cooked my shrimp in what I think is kind of a brine. So in this brine, you're gonna have your shrimp, you're gonna have your water, you're gonna have 1 cup of vermouth or white wine, some kosher salt, peppercorns, coriander seeds, bay leaves, a small onion, tarragon sprigs, and half a lemon. You're gonna cook your shrimp in that, and then, you know, plate it all together with the cocktail sauce. That sounds so good to me. I'm looking forward to that. I will leave a copy or a link to all the recipes that I'm using if I have a link to share. It'll be in the description box. Okay, so for another appetizer, I'll be doing where's my little list? I'll be doing a Christmas wreath veggie pizza. I've done a veggie pizza 1,000 times. What I haven't done is made it into a Christmas wreath. And so I found this recipe, didn't really need it for the ingredients. What I wanted it for was her method for getting the wreath shaped right. And I printed it out, even though I kind of got it in my head. but just in case I forget. And I will link to this. This one's called the vegetable pizza Christmas wreath appetizer. Well, how she does it to keep her wreath looking perfect is that before she puts down her crescent rolls and stuff, she puts down a small bowl in the center and then arranges her crescent rolls and her pizza toppings on the outside of it, and then that gives her that perfect round shape in the center. I like that idea. So I will be following her instructions for how she put it together, probably not for what she's using in the recipe. And then the third and only other appetizer I'm going to be doing is called antipasto skewers. And basically this looked to me like charcuterie boards on bamboo skewers. But aren't they beautiful? Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. So on this recipe from these folks, the name of the website is called Ahead of Time, and again, I will be putting links to the recipes down in the description. But this one calls for cheese tortellinis, Italian dressing, olives, basil, salami, grape tomatoes, marinated artichoke hearts, pepperoni, cheddar cheese, and cocktail pricks. I am not a fan of tortellini, so I'll be figuring out something else for that. And the Italian dressing, I'm almost thinking I can make my own. I've made one already a couple of times for a salad. I'm not sure that it's strong enough to use for antipasto skewers, so we'll see what I do. I could end up buying one for the skewers, or I could end up making one. See how it goes on that day. And the rest of these ingredients are a piece of cake. Don't necessarily have to follow those ingredients either. You can just use whatever you got or what your family likes. So all three of my my appetizers are gonna be made ahead in some shape or form. For the skewers, I won't be drizzling the dressing on it until the day of. For the veggie pizza, I will probably, let's see. For the veggie pizza, I'll probably just be doing that the day of, but for the chopped veggies, I'll get those done the day before or maybe the day before that. And then for the cocktail, shrimp cocktail, I'll do the cocktail sauce the day before or whatever, or even the shrimp, truthfully. This will sit fine in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 days. All right, so on to my main meal for Christmas dinner. First off, we get a free ham for my job, so I opted for the spiral pre-cooked ham. So how I'm gonna do my ham this year is gonna be a first for me since I got that new smoker and I've been playing around with it a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm gonna do a twice smoked spiral ham. It's a first, sounds amazing. And then the other part to this, not that it's just going to be the smoked, I'm going to use some applewood chips when I do my smoke, but it also has a honey glaze that I'm thinking about going ahead and putting on there too. And the glaze that they're making calls for ginger ale, brown sugar, honey, apple cider vinegar, garlic, and Dijon mustard. All of those are things that I have in my cupboards at any given time, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put that on there too. Since the ham is already cooked, really we're just going to be trying to warm this up, right? So I'm thinking for the size ham that I'm expecting to get for my job, I only need to keep it in that smoker for several hours, maybe 3 hours or so. Moving on, I will also be doing some garlic mushrooms. I found a recipe for those, and it's calling for butter, olive oil, onion, mushrooms, dry white wine, thyme, parsley, garlic, and salt and pepper. If that ain't a keep it simple, stupid recipe, I don't know what is. I love mushrooms. All of those ingredients sound good to me. I'm gonna give this a try. Should be super easy. It says the prep time is 5 minutes. The cook time is 10 minutes. I mean, like, come on. Holiday cooking and it's gonna look that good? Okay, sign me up. And then I'm gonna do roasted potatoes. I don't need a recipe for that. I've done roasted potatoes 1,000 times. I'm gonna do garlic breadsticks, don't need a recipe for those. And then I'm also gonna do a salad, but I'm gonna do my own homemade dressing using that, if you look back in my recent videos, I've been making my own homemade vinegars, and I have one that's gonna be thyme and shallot. It should be done in time for Christmas, so I will be doing that, using that to make the salad dressing for our salad. So I am super excited. I hope you guys got some ideas. If you already know what your menu is going to look like, tell me what you're going to be doing down below. Maybe I'll steal one of your ideas and replace one of mine. All right, guys, I will be back with more content at some point, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.